My name is John. I'm doing 365 days of fasting, a project for the year, and it's day 59. Now, I just want to give you a bit of an update, and the thing that's been happening this week is slowly over the week, this feeling's been building up inside of me, and I really want to cheat. Weirdly enough, it's not in the way you might think. It's not that I want to go off of the fast or have less fast days. I want to add extra fast days so that I'm doing double fasting. And the reason why I keep thinking about this is that I'm so impatient about losing this weight, and it's not going off as quickly or as easy as I would have expected it to go. So when you do a diet, or my experience with diets, at least in the past, has been that you're really strict on it and your weight slowly goes down or quickly goes down, and it just goes down and down and down, or it doesn't, it just plateaus and doesn't do anything. So this has not been quite like that. In this way, I lost a lot of weight at the very beginning, and then it stopped. And then towards the end of the first month, it all kind of rechanged and I lost a bit more weight. And then in this last month, I'm going to do a total recap in a few days, but in this last month, I have lost some weight. It still does, but I have these long periods of it not going down on the scale. And so I want to cheat. Now I'm trying to stop myself because I think that that's a bad route to go at this point. You know, I still have 10 more months to go. It's not like this has to be a race, but it's not like maybe in the back of my head, I didn't have this thought of like, hey, if you get to your goal weight in like 4 months, you could just kind of be maintaining for the rest of the year. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So here's my expectation. My expectation, all I want is that on my eating days, my weight goes up a bit, and on my fasting days, my weight goes down, and on each fasting days, it's a little bit lower than the last one. What I don't want to have happen is I have an eating day and my weight jumps up like 6 pounds, and then I go on my fasting day and it hardly goes down from that at all. And then on the next eating day, it's up again, and then maybe a week later, it drops down to a much lower number. That's driving me a bit crazy. But there's nothing I can do about it. And I don't know, well, there is something I could do about it. I could cheat, start adding double fasting days, and I could force it. But I don't think that's the way to go. Yet. It might come to it, you know, some of these cheating things I give into. The alternative would be that I would completely go onto a paleo diet or some sort of a low carb diet to go along with this. But for me, I think that's the true end. I think that I could add a couple of these double fasting days and that wouldn't be the end of the world for me. But if I actually instead went on to like a strict diet as well as doing this, my days would really be numbered. I have thought of and even tried a little bit where I was maybe not eating in the morning if I wasn't hungry on my eating day, you know, and that's okay, but there's not a consistent way that it's working yet. So I'm just kind of telling you my feelings, what's going on with this. I'm not stating of what I'm going to do or some big change in my plan. My plan still really is the same: eat a day, have a complete fasting day, eat another day, and then go all the way through it. And then see what my reaction is to it. Now, I can tell you this for true. If I get into like month 4 and 5 and I still haven't lost a lot of weight, then at some point I'm gonna really have to try to kick into a gear. But it's probably much more useful for me and for you guys to have an idea of just how it works pure. Now, I'm not saying that my eating on my eating days, I'm not saying that my eating is great. You know, I still have sweets and I still have like sweet drinks and stuff or desserts. I feel I'm doing it much less, but that's still the case. But for me, that's the power of this, that I don't have to give those things up completely. That's what allows me to be really easy on my fasting days and not have a problem with it. So that's kind of that's the third rail for me. So I don't want to go there. Okay, that was a lot of complaining, but I also want to say that so far this month, I've been incredibly productive. I've had so much more energy now that I've started doing coffee on my fasting days. It's really, I'm enthusiastic. I have plans for things I'm doing. My time is filled. I have many nights where I've been only sleeping like 4 or 5 hours, which is not great for me, to tell you the truth, in the long term. But like, I have a late night, then I have to get up for my son to get him to school, and then I just start through the day. And some days I can't, some days I can, which is amazing to me. That was not something I was doing before that. And so despite the fact that I have this impatience and a dissatisfaction with getting the result that I want, it's really important to remember that overall, while I'm doing this, my life is so much better than it was before I was doing this. Like, I still feel better in my body. I still have way more energy, more enthusiasm, and yeah, so life is good. And I want to cheat. Okay, so that's it for today. I just thought I'd share that with you so I can get it down for you, get it down for me, that I can remember this moment, because it's been a bit of a crazy week that way. Anyway, thanks for getting to the end of this video. You're there.